You know, there is this massive cultural narrative going around right now. You've definitely heard it at the office, on the news, or just scrolling through your feed. It basically goes like this. If artificial intelligence can suddenly write our code, draft our emails, and synthesize these crazy complex data sets in a matter of seconds, does that mean human thought is just being replaced? Like, if a machine can do our thinking for us, are fields like literature, history, and philosophy suddenly totally obsolete? It's a really provocative question, and honestly, it's pretty easy to assume the answer is yes. But as we'll see, the actual evidence points to something completely different. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to dive deep into the source material analyzing this relationship between artificial intelligence and human thought, and we're going to flip that popular narrative entirely on its head. The core argument we're exploring today is that the rise of AI doesn't diminish our need for humanistic disciplines. Actually, it amplifies it. The humanities are becoming more vital now than ever before. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the AI understanding illusion. Second, STEM versus the humanities. Third, the burden of interpretation. Fourth, communication is system control. And finally, the critical thinking imperative. Let's get right into it. All right, section 1, the AI understanding illusion. Syntax versus semantics. This distinction right here is foundational to everything we're going to talk about. Because when we interact with AI, it really feels like it understands us, right? It talks like us, but the source material clarifies a crucial difference. AI models function through syntactic pattern prediction. They're essentially just highly sophisticated statistical engines predicting the next word in a sequence based on massive, massive data sets. That's syntax. On the flip side, we have semantic reality, which requires genuine understanding and purpose. As humans, we anchor information in lived experience. We don't just mathematically predict the next word, we actually know what that word means out in the real world. And that brings us to this absolutely crucial quote from the analysis. They lack lived experience and the ability to anchor information in semantic reality. An AI doesn't have a worldview. It doesn't have emotional memory or physical context. It operates purely on statistical patterns without any genuine understanding or ethical judgment. And this is exactly where the humanities step in. The humanities provide the essential grounding we need to understand real-world context, intention, and truth. Without human experience to anchor it, an AI's output is basically just floating data. It's kind of like a dictionary that knows exactly how to spell the word ocean perfectly, but has never actually felt water. Moving on to section 2, STEM versus the humanities. Knowing how versus knowing why. This dividing line between technical functionality and ethical responsibility is pretty stark. STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math, are obviously exceptional for building the technology. They explain the mechanics. They tell us exactly how things work. But STEM alone cannot determine whether a technological development is ethical or whether it's genuinely beneficial to us as a society. Building the AI, that's a STEM problem. But navigating the moral consequences of unleashing that AI into the world, well, that is entirely a humanities problem. So the crucial point to take away here is that when we deploy AI, we are instantly faced with complex societal impacts that code just simply cannot solve. Crucial disciplines like philosophy, ethics, and political theory are absolutely required. We need philosophy to understand the nature of the decisions these models are making. We need ethics to ensure fairness and prevent harm. And we need political theory to figure out how this incredible power is going to be distributed across our societies. AI deployment isn't just a basic software update, it is a profound societal shift, and it demands deep humanistic oversight. Which brings us to section 3, the burden of interpretation, becoming the active interpreter. We are looking at a massive paradigm shift in how we interact with machines. The source material highlights a specific field called hermeneutics. Now, it's a big word, but it basically just means the study of meaning and interpretation. You see, AI doesn't remove the need for human interpretation, it actually shifts that burden entirely onto the user. Because an AI's output can be super ambiguous, we have to be trained to navigate that uncertainty. Disciplines like hermeneutics, along with history and literary studies, teach us exactly how to handle multiple valid readings of a text and discern the actual intended meaning. It really frames a distinct choice in your role as a user. If you choose to act as a passive receiver, you just accept the AI output blindly. That requires zero judgment. But the source explicitly warns us against doing this. Because AI outputs are probabilistic and highly context-sensitive, you have to be an active participant. You have to actively discern the meaning, identify any potential biases, and evaluate the truthfulness of the information it spits out. The level of human judgment required here is incredibly high. You aren't just reading a result anymore, you are actively interpreting it. And this level of close scrutiny is critical because, and this is a big one, AI can be incredibly misleading without being technically wrong. An AI model might give you a statistically probable answer that completely, totally misses the contextual nuance of your specific situation. It can omit vital perspectives or heavily bias a particular viewpoint, all while presenting facts that are technically accurate. Human judgment is literally the only filter that can catch those subtleties.
Okay, Section 4, Communication as System Control, Commanding the Machine.
Crafting effective prompts to get the best out of an AI isn't just basic data entry, it's actually a form of system control rooted deeply in applied rhetoric. By defining your intent, setting constraints, and establishing clear boundaries, you are using fundamental rhetorical skills. By using the practical tools of human language and communication, you can command the machine way more effectively. The better you understand language, which is a core humanities skill, right? The more accurate and reliable you make the AI's performance. You are asserting clear system control through words.
Finally, Section 5, the Critical Thinking Imperative, our ultimate human asset.
As AI continues to automate more of our mundane daily tasks, the value of our human interpretive skills is dramatically increasing. Detecting nuance, identifying bias, noting subtle distortions, spotting omissions. Guys, these are complex, critical thinking skills that a machine operating on statistical prediction simply cannot perform. Far from being rendered obsolete, the study of the humanities is exactly what ensures we use this incredible technology responsibly. It guarantees that human-centered intent remains firmly in the driver's seat.
So, we arrive at the ultimate takeaway. The machines have mastered the syntax, for sure, but the semantics, the meaning, the ethics, the context, those belong entirely to us. The humanities aren't some dusty relic of the past. They're literally the user manual for the future. Which leaves you with one vital question to consider as you step back out into a world filled with artificial intelligence. How will you apply your humanity to your technology today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking the big questions, and I'll catch you next time.